Okay, so welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about a special type of polygon, which is a quadrilateral. Okay, so quadrilateral, quadra comes from four, the word for four, and lateral means side. So quadrilaterals is a shape that has four sides. So here's examples of different types of quadrilaterals. They can be all kinds of different shapes. But as long as you have four sides that is closed, then it's called a quadrilateral. So that's the classification, right? So that's the largest classification of four these types of shapes, right? So again, it's a closed shape that involves four angles closed by four straight line segments. Okay, so all of these are examples of quadrilaterals. Now, once we start getting into the set of all quadrilaterals, then we can start subdividing into different categories within quadrilaterals. For example, we could talk about parallelograms. Okay, a parallelogram is a quadrilateral, so it's within the realm of quadrilateral, but it's a quadrilateral in which opposite sides are parallel. Okay? For example, if we use these symbols, okay, this is symbols I use to show parallel lines, okay? So in this case here, I've got opposite sides, so I've got a quadrilateral where opposite sides are parallel. That is a parallelogram. That's the definition of a parallelogram. So that's it. It's a quadrilateral where opposite sides of the quadrilateral are parallel. Okay, that's the definition of a parallelogram. Okay. Now, what else do we know? Well, now within parallelograms, we can even subdivide even further. Okay, so within parallelograms, right, so we've got quadrilaterals, right, but not all quadrilaterals are parallelograms, okay? Now, within parallelograms, we could subdivide parallelograms even further, okay? Now, within parallelograms, we have two other types of parallelograms. Well, actually, three. But we'll get there. So we've got rectangles. Now what's a rectangle? A rectangle is where we have opposite sides, so it's a parallelogram, right? It's a parallelogram, but the sides intersect at right angles. Okay? That's a rectangle. If you have a parallelogram where all four vertices are right angles, that is a rectangle. Okay? Now, but within rectangles, not all rectangles are the same. Well, now within rectangles, you can go to another category of rectangle, which is called a square. Oops. Now, what's a square? A square is a rectangle, except it has one more added characteristic. All the sides are the same length. Okay? So here, this would be a rectangle. Okay, because it's obvious that both sides are parallel because they both intersect, the sides intersect at right angles. They're perpendicular, right? But the opposite sides are the same. So they're not all the same length. So that's a rectangle. Now here, this would be an example of a square. It's a rectangle, right? Except all four sides are the same length. Okay, so a square is a special type of rectangle. A rectangle is a special type of parallelogram. A parallelogram is a special type of quadrilateral. See how that works? So you're going from a larger set and you're basically getting to a more specialized type of quadrilateral. Okay? Now, within rectangles, okay, so squares, well, let's see here. There's also another one which I don't think we get into, but there's another one called a rhombus. So I'm not going to get into rhombus since we don't go into it, but rhombus would fit. It's not a square, it's a parallelogram. So that would be up here. Well, might as well add it. So up here under parallelogram, it's not a rectangle, but all the sides are the same length. Okay? So it's a parallelogram where all of the sides are the same length. And the angles are not right angles. That would be a rhombus. Okay. Have a great day.